them come. This is their fate.
Birdman hands. All right. Welcome back to the House of Wolves. I feel like I'm screaming at them. To the House of Wolves podcast. I am your host, Deontay, here with my near and dear friends, Jalen and Josh. Today we got quite a bit to talk about. Really, the biggest thing to talk about is Xbox giving away all their games. But then we got some stuff about the Final Fantasy VII Rebirth Demo releasing pretty soon here. And we got some other stuff to talk about as well. But before we get started, per usual, Jalen, Josh, tell the people how you been, what you've been up to, what you've been doing. It's only been a couple of days because we released that last one thinking we was going to get some good stuff from that state of play, and it was given very much C energy. So what you been up to for the last 3 days?
Yeah, it's been that short, right?
Yeah, it's been pretty short.
I haven't been up to much, but I've been trying to play a couple games just to finish up because everybody's season is like ending this week for some reason. Like Call of Duty's ending, Overwatch is ending.
Do you still like collect stuff within those games, or is it like more so completion feeling? Like, or do you care about the stuff you're getting in them? That's a quick question.
So I only worry about finishing battle passes and stuff for stuff I bought. If I bought the battle pass.
Oh, gotcha.
But if I didn't finish it, then maybe I'll jump in a couple matches. Like Overwatch, I haven't bought the battle pass in like 3 seasons, so yeah. I just hop in, play a little bit for the end season.
I think Jalen bought the last
Call of Duty,
one. Yeah,
I bought. So I wanted to finish it. I was playing Marvel Snap, and I had to finish that off, and I actually reached the max rank in the ranked mode. Top players in the world, but that's another story. What else was I playing? It was another game that the season was ending, but I just forgot. So, anyways, just trying to finish off battle passes, which is annoying because like Call of Duty, I feel like I played that a lot, and I looked at it, and I was only like at 80 out of 100. I was like, how much time do they actually want you to put into this game? I was like, oh well, you got to use double XP tokens, and
don't you get 50 tokens off bet with the one we bought?
Yeah, but that only gets you to 50 out of 100.
That's crazy that you got to 50 and you still needed that much more time. That's crazy.
Yeah, because I always save my like double points tokens because I don't like games that give you like time bonuses like that, especially Call of Duty where it's real time. It's not matchmaking time. So if you match 3 minutes, it's wasting 3 minutes of your timer. So I just hate that whole system. So I just saved them all to the end. So I just been using them the last couple of days. Other than that, I played a little bit more Persona, but I haven't had a whole lot of time because I'm streaming it to my Steam Deck, but I haven't been home. So that's an incentive to like make me want to buy it for portable, but I don't know if I want to spend 70 on it.
What about using it Xbox paying game? I mean X Cloud or cloud gaming. Do you use that service on your Steam Deck?
I do, just not when I'm not at home.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, you can still use cloud gaming when you're without having to push off your server of your home, or I mean off your Xbox, because I use it through Xbox's servers, not my own. I don't actually stream it from my actual Xbox. Maybe that's something you can look into, or maybe that's something you can't do. I don't know, but I was just thought.
Yeah, but I'm be trying to play more Persona. Probably once the baby go to sleep, I'll boot it up on the Steam Deck. But yeah, that's all the games I'm playing. It's been a short couple days, but in that short time we got a bunch of doom and gloom for Xbox. So.
Oh yeah, for sure. Something crazy. What about you, Jalen? What you been up to? You finish your Overwatch pass or your battle pass? Get your
Heck
ass.
no, I got my ass in at 39. I stopped playing that much.
Mm.
I mean, you gotta realize who you beat, bro. Like if somebody told me they completed 3 battle passes, like within what is the season, like 90 days or whatever. If somebody completed 3 battle passes, I mean, that's astounding because I mean, it ain't enough time, bro. Like I be playing all the work I be putting in on that game. I'm like, bro, I'm still only level 39. Granted, I mean, maybe it grants more XP if I actually bought the battle pass and all that type of stuff, man. But let's be real, bro. After that time we got bamboozled. Like, hey Josh, we found they give us actual money back. It's kind of like Apex.
Yeah.
Nah, them regular credits, bro. So I was just through after that.
Josh hit us with the blues with that one.
Yeah, it broke my heart. So that but other than that, I mean, I just been playing Persona. Um, I'm still not that far in the game. I ain't got that much time to really be playing it, I guess. I got about like 3-4 hours in that game. I think it's like 4 hours. So I think I'm on like 417 or like Tartarus or something like that. So I'm making it. I was trying to ask Josh how much should I be in Tartarus just in general because I missed the beginning of the game, but like the enemy's getting a little bit stronger. But yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'll say like you'll definitely know the enemies will be stronger, but usually the floor bosses, like I don't know, like every 20 floors or whatever, however they put them, the bosses are usually pretty strong. And as long as you're able to uh like reach them every month, you're at a good pace. But if you like, I don't know, let's say you start in April and then now in March, you take your time, you're doing a bunch of social stuff, and you don't fight the boss in March, that's fine. You don't have to fight the boss in March. Uh, but once you get to the story boss, you're gonna be under leveled because you didn't spend enough time in Tartarus. So that's why I was just trying to tell you that every full moon on the calendar is a story boss. So at least if you want to put a little bit of extra time before the full moon into Tartarus so you can level up and possibly beat the Tartarus boss at that around that time.
And that Tartarus boss don't got anything to do with the forest. They just gonna you just gotta pop up and you gotta fight them.
Oh no, well, so I forget how many floors. Let's say it's every 20 floors. It's like every month we want you to go up 20 floors, and then once you reach the 20th floor, there's a Tartarus boss, and once you beat him, it'll say come back later to unlock the next level. Then you go do the story stuff, hang out with your friends, and then there'll be a separate story boss that will show up in the real world that you fight. And once you beat that boss, now you can progress Tartarus later.
Oh, so there's an actual stopping point that you can reach, and then you have to go out and like do other stuff, and then wait till the side or the individual comes out in the real world. Then you can go back and start it the TARDIS again. So it's actually a indicator for you to say, "Hey, wait, you can't keep going further. I thought you can always go infinitely." So there's a stopping point.
Yeah, there is a stopping point. It might not be a hard stopping point that early. Like it might let you go like a bunch of levels, but then it'll tell you like, oh, at this point you can't keep going until the next moon passes. And a full moon always means that there's a story boss.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, shit kind of gets a little of that mystery out the way. But okay, cool. Anything else, Jayla?
Nah, that's pretty much it though. So I'm gonna just keep playing. Kind of got the same sentiments. So I was like, hey, should I get this game on my Steam Deck or should I just keep playing on my Xbox? So with that $70,
That's
no about
cooked.
spending that fun, bro.
Man, that's cooked, bro. I seen it for 56 and I was like almost tempted to get it. I was like, no, I'm not. I could just keep doing it on this. It's straight. I'll be fine.
Yeah.
But it's so, like I said,
Game
it's
Pass
so
money.
much more convenient that it's just ridiculous how much of a convenience it is to be able to pause something and start something, especially those types of games. So,
yeah,
Almost like Game Pass is a good competitor to buying games.
yeah, It is. It is a good competitor, especially when they find out a way to let it go through Proton, because then it'd really be the end all be all for me. I was like, I'm straight now. I don't really got a dual boot in Windows or none of that. So once that happens, is really like that's the ultimate subscription for me. But until then, I ain't. You still got to weigh out the pros and cons of that. And I always use the Steam Deck for my backlog. I don't really want to play anything new anyway, but Persona is not a very heavy game, so it fits the bill. But okay. Yeah, I mean, I've been doing the same thing, been chilling, watching all this Apple Vision Pro stuff go crazy. That's what I wanted to talk about. See, I knew it was gonna come back to me at some point. Um, all this Apple Vision Pro stuff and seeing all the interest and all the people enjoying their VR and mixed reality. I really think it's cool. But I got some thoughts on that we can speak on later. So I've been watching a lot of the footage on that. I've been watching a lot of information coming out about the Xbox stuff, and I've been watching a lot of information around. I mean, that's pretty much it, the Xbox stuff. But outside of that, gaming wise, I've been playing Persona and I've been playing Suicide Squad. And I still been playing Suicide Squad. I still ain't fell off of it. It's not like it's a terrible game. My PC problems like kind of went away, which is kind of insane. I don't know if it did an update or what, but after I am on a AMD card. I have a 7900 XTX. I don't know what happened, but it is locking to the 60 a lot better. I don't have ray tracing on, and I'm in the standard, setting that they provided, or at least said I was recommended for. So I didn't change nothing. All I did was keep playing it, and it started to clear up. And I literally have no issues with cutscenes and no issues with regular movement around the world. I do get a drop frame here and there, which is crazy because it's a 7900 XTX, but for me it does feel a lot better to play, and so I'm happy with it. It's not like it's a problem. It's definitely not a Star Wars situation or something like that. So I don't know what happened, but overnight it fixed itself.
Yeah, I mean, open world games are weird like that, but it's good that it's running better, at least no stuttering. Because Digital Foundry, they get your game head if it's stuttering.
Oh yeah, and honestly, that's what was happening for me for a while. I don't know what happened to change it. Honestly, I couldn't tell you, but I mean, me booting into the world, doing all the bunch of I played for like 3 hours, so I know I would have saw something about it, but I ain't seen nothing. And I have the FPS counter up top. I seen when it dropped to like 55, or 56 or something, but I wouldn't feel it, nor would I see it visually. So I don't know what they did. I mean, I had the same setup, nothing changed. So maybe I'm not as but no, I'm still very much so sensitive to it. So I don't know. I think it just something changed where it started to run a lot better, a lot smoother. And it felt like it was utilizing my entire GPU, because before it just felt like it was always sitting around 70, and my CPU wasn't being like taxed either. So I don't know if it was a bunch of reboots or whatever, but it's working now properly.
Have you been playing online at all?
I did not play online because, like I said, I've been playing that game like a standard game. I don't have to experience that stuff. And it seemed like it'd be fun to play with other people, to be honest, because it would just make it more of a challenge to try to get the most points and really try to outplay them, kind of like in Borderlands. But I don't necessarily need that to have fun on it either. So I think there's some good components in this game already, or some great groundwork that's helpful to get people to buy in initially, and then if they want to, friends have it down the line or something like that, I think that's enjoyable. And if they keep supporting it, I think it'll be a solid, B. But I just think nobody's want this game from Rocksteady, and I think that's the biggest problem. So it's gonna stay that problem. But yeah, I've been playing that and other stuff, and like I said, Persona. So trying to get more time on that. Cause I'm really, I always dig the stories. I just don't like how they drag sometimes. So right now I'm just invested. So that's good. But that's it for me. Kids good, family good, everybody's good, life's good. Can't complain. You know, life is life, but you can't complain about it. Everything really is. I really don't have a reason to complain. So that's the point. I don't have a reason to. But yeah, let's move into some of these topics, especially this Xbox One. I got a lot to say, and I really don't know where to start. So I guess when you heard the news, Josh, let me hear your thoughts first, because I'm play devil's advocate. If you got whatever your point is, what is your thoughts on them moving over and giving their games away, and then I come to you, Jalen.
So I saw everything on Twitter because that's where all the like game stuff happening. I forget who it was first, but I think it's like Tom Henderson or Tom something. Basically one of
from the Verge.
Yeah, from the Verge. He always has like scoops and stuff related to Xbox. And recently they've been talking a lot about more Xbox games coming to PlayStation.
Right.
And then one day they were just straight out like Xbox's new strategy is that all of their games, if not all, but most of their exclusives are coming to PlayStation 5. That's their plan going forward. And I mean, I'm personally not too bothered by it, but it is, I guess, surprising because you would think something like Starfield, which was maybe not everybody's favorite game, but it was one of the biggest titles that came out last year. A lot of people played it. A lot of people had a lot of stuff about it. That was Xbox exclusive, and if it wasn't Xbox exclusive, then that kind of means that I guess you don't have to invest in the Xbox brand anymore. Personally, I think it's smart on. Let me rephrase it. I wouldn't say that it's smart. I don't know if it's a smart business decision, but I think that Xbox for a long time they have not been pushing the hardware, like what they've been pushing is Game Pass, and the whole point is Game Pass. We want all of everything we invest in to be available everywhere, and more people to buy it, more people to play it. And I think that's just on brand for them to bring stuff like Starfield to PlayStation and whatever else they can put it on, because it's at the end of the day, the money is still going to their pocket. It doesn't matter where it comes from. So if you buy one Xbox every 5 years, or you just pay them a monthly subscription, the money is still going directly to them. So I think from a dollar standpoint, they're gonna win because they've always been winning from a dollar standpoint from Sony. Because like we just saw the Insomniac leaks where Spider-Man 2, one of the biggest games probably this generation, like barely made any money. Like it broke even basically. And if you don't gotta worry about that, if your exclusive game is available on everything, PC, PlayStation, and Xbox at the same time, you don't have to worry about breaking even, because you will, unless the game is just like is an outright failure. But like a game can be really successful and not be profitable, and I think that's one way that Game Pass and this strategy is going to solve for Xbox. That being said, what is it going to do for the Xbox brand? I don't know. People already don't think highly of Xbox's brand, and this probably will make it worse. But I don't know. What y'all?
What about you, Jalen? What you got for good old Xbox? I know you finally own one. So what's your thoughts, man?
I don't know, man. I mean, I don't really. Just to confirm, is it you talking about Xbox giving up like a lot of the exclusives, right? Like, so they can be on like
So the rumor
the
is
PS5.
they haven't announced it, but Xbox said next week they're gonna have like some sort of announcement next week. But the rumor is that Xbox exclusive games going forward are gonna be launching on
Yeah,
PlayStation 5. So Indiana Jones is gonna come to PlayStation 5.
that's good.
If it's a new Halo game, maybe, right now there might be some games that don't go to PlayStation 5, but now the rumor is that they're looking to just bring Xbox games directly on PlayStation.
Yeah, Starfield
Yeah,
included.
yeah. Okay, I was just trying to make sure I seen something about that, but yeah. I mean, I feel like I don't know how like the business model, how everything like how revenue is like divvied up and stuff like that. Like if they sell Starfield on a PS5 or whatever, who gets the money, like the percentages and all that type of stuff. I mean, to be honest with you, seeing how the Xboxes are doing this generation, how they was doing last generation, um, they kind of pivoted to letting people use Game Pass on the PC. I mean, I don't feel like it would be it don't bother me one, as far as like the whole market and stuff like that. I mean, if they trying to get more units out there and get people to like cop a game and stuff like that, I don't know if they're gonna be available like on a Game Pass on a PS5 or they just have access to go buy this game and play it on the PS5. I feel like that might be a important factor, but to my original statement, I mean, if they can get games out and stuff like that, I mean, I think that'll be the bigger thing. If I remember anything from like working at Best Buy, I remember people always wanted to try to push software rather than pushing hardware because hardware don't make as much. The Xbox with their units and stuff like that. I believe they had like this last holiday season, it was $150 off at least or something like that. How much
Oh,
do you get your Xbox
absolutely.
for, Deontay?
350.
Yeah, so I mean, they cutting the price in that, and then whole time PS5 they increasing the prices of their PlayStations and stuff like that. I think they did have a deal though with the Call of Duty bundle and stuff like that, but it just kind of show you a little bit of like a glimpse of like how they're doing per se, or what they're maybe not so much of how they're doing because we know Microsoft always gonna have more money than Sony, but a glimpse of what they're looking to push, and if they just trying to they can take a cut on the Xboxes and stuff like that. I feel like that's not the biggest priority. With the Game Pass been on PC, all the cloud gaming, all that type of stuff. I feel like that's the bigger agenda at which they're trying to push. And then if they can like passively, push units or software and stuff to like PS5s and stuff like that, and still get some cut of that, then I guess it's a win on their part. The whole exclusivity thing, I think they just realized that they probably can't, bang with Sony when it comes to the exclusives and stuff like that, and people just not buying Xboxes for real. So,
Hmm.
yeah,
So, there's some agreement with your guys' sentiment, and there's some disagreement, and um, I'm a go to the extreme simply because of I just want to have good conversation. But say for instance, we start to see a world where it's simply just Japan based companies out there. I'm talking Sony and Nintendo. What are y'all thoughts on them running the show on regards to hardware, and do you feel like um they will make the right decisions? Because Sony would have no competitor at that point. And Sony has been known to destabilize the video game industry in multitude of ways. What do you think? What would muzzle them at this point? So, I guess do y'all feel confident that Sony would be an advocate for the consumer without
I mean,
competition?
like to answer your question, no, I don't think they would do that, nor do I think Nintendo would do that. Ultimately, nobody needs to have some form of like a monopoly. And then competition breeds better stuff anyway, right? So if they don't have any competitors and they can be stagnant, well, we have premium games. We're the only place where we can do this, that, or the third. So I don't think Xbox need to just completely pivot and get rid of the console thing and stuff like that. I feel as though Xbox is trying to provide, or Microsoft trying to provide more options. But to answer your question, I don't think that they would have a muzzle, and they can where you start to wonder where is the standard, and that competition isn't about raising the bar anymore. We ruled this domain or whatever, so like this was that, and this what y'all got. So yeah, that's my answer to your question. I got a little bit more I could say, but I'm gonna just leave it at that.
Okay. What about you, Josh? Joshua, you on mute? Oh, he must be busy.
My bad. I was had to eat some chips and wanted to hear the bag sprinkling all over.
No.
But yeah, I agree with Jalen, which I don't think Sony is gonna necessarily put the consumer first, because they are a business and they care about making money, and like I said, they got to reach their bottom lines for their expensive projects. And a lot of times, in order to do that, you just gotta step on the consumer. So I imagine we will see more egregious stuff from Sony, more egregious DLC practices, more expensive games, more expensive consoles, because
I think they
that's
only
what
could do it on the
works.
consoles. I don't think Xbox publishing would allow for games to become like some. But honestly, they don't have a machine to. I mean, that's the extreme, and I don't want to make that as like the grounds for
it's
it.
already rumors about games going to $100 by the end of this generation on PlayStation, because that's the price point that they feel like is worth it to make a profit. And Xbox is not moving there because they weren't even going to move to 70 for a long time. And with Xbox not being a big deciding factor in the console space anymore, then yeah, Sony will continue to raise the price to whatever they think is good. So $120 for the base price of the game, like that's common. I mean, that could become common, but that's just because if Xbox is not competing. Like Xbox has always been losing for a while, but that pressure has constantly made Sony have to keep up stuff with like backwards compatibility, cross save, cross play. Like last generation, Sony was not playing with any of that, but Xbox was, and that made Sony have to play ball. Now, if that's not a factor, then Sony's not going to play ball. They're going to do whatever they want. Nintendo, I don't think matters. They're going to do what they want regardless, and it doesn't matter what the standard is. Nintendo doesn't care. So yeah, I say it's bad overall for the gaming market. And really the only way to hold Sony accountable at this point is the consumer. Like if Sony's raising the prices and consumers don't like it, then they don't buy it, and that's really only thing that they could do at this point.
So here is my actual thoughts about this whole situation. My actual thoughts are simple. They want to be where the gamers are. They have built up their line their lines across multi-platform, mobile, cloud gaming, PC gaming, and now they're trying to expand without spending money their console reach. This is a simple play to build upon their already ever growing model where they are literally in our pockets with the Activision deal, because that's the mobile stuff. They are literally in our cloud because they run it and they have the capability to do so. So even if you just don't have the system, you can still cloud game and run these big games. And then they now have the bridging of the PC for the higher end, because they got PC Game Pass and everybody loves that's the best thing in gaming, and they're probably going to build out that platform to be even better, to be competitive to what the Xbox can do. And then they're going to push out their platform for the consoles, and it's a very simple transactional thing. Unfortunately, what that does is it creates a problem with branding, and it creates a problem with owning said experience. It's like Apple giving iTunes to the PC. That experience sucks because there's nothing there that falls within that ecosystem that makes it enjoyable. But it's just a software, it's just a game. But I feel like when you let go of some of these things and you don't have the uh beginning to end transaction of all of it, it feels less of a value add to that platform or brand and more of a transactional thing where you would see like a Ubisoft. You don't have a connection to these people, you don't have a connection to these characters, you don't have a connection to this type of stuff. Um it doesn't feel as beneficial in a way, or and it's just more so to satisfy the Xbox loyalist. It's nothing to do with how they go to market and the capabilities of the other machine and being able to deliver an experience comparable to theirs. They cannot leave the uh they cannot leave the console industry because of all the things I mentioned prior: competitiveness, ability to provide an option for individuals to play the game that they are creating in a sustained and um, deliverable way, because you can't really trust the PlayStation's publishing house, or PlayStation system and software to integrate or provide the best experience that you can create from your own system. So I don't see them leaving the console wars. I don't see them leaving consoles in general. I just see them. What is the cheapest way for us to expand our reach? And this is the cheapest way. It's like there's
So
no real cost to develop and distribute for games companies that were already going to be third party. If they weren't third party, like Starfield was going to be on the PlayStation 5 until they bought it. Like these types of deals that I see coming are the ones that were already potentially already going to be third party, including Skyrim, upcoming things like that. It just makes sense for these large, expensive games to be where everyone can play, and it doesn't take a rocket scientist to see that, regardless of how well this company sells and produces and provides exceptional experiences, they're still going to have that lack of reach that Sony would. And if they were to be able to deliver this hi-fi rush on not only the Xbox Series S, but also the PS5, the PS4, it's going to provide them a much bigger audience, especially Nintendo Switch. So is this a aha thing for me? No, it really just makes a lot of sense. But I get the Xbox loyalist concerns. I get the concern of
yeah,
um
is this the betrayal of
yeah.
Xbox gamers' trust?
Yeah, is this the last straw for us? I felt like we were going to have some power in regards to the brand. The brand was going to feel stronger, better, and it's been in a bad situation for a very long time. And now that we have gotten ourselves and they supported you throughout this entire thing to this point, you want to kind of seek the benefit of having your games everywhere, and that simply everywhere means on every console platform, because they were already everywhere. They was in the cloud, they were in your pocket. Now they're just bridging the gap between platforms and consoles, and having that box ability to kind of be able to run these games, simply because there's just so many more people that have those. And they're now positioning themselves to be a large publishing company. They literally own Activision. They cannot be in a council war with the ownership of Activision and Bethesda. Just doesn't make sense. And I get that people are upset about that. It just doesn't make sense though. Like, why would you think they wouldn't still publish Call of Duty and these other games on these other places and bring those games to other places? Why would you think they would drop that down to just one? Like, how does that help Xbox or Microsoft? I think we have a real problem with understanding where something is and the benefit for the company. Like, I just sometimes I feel like they're not realist in these conversations a lot, where the realization is that games are more expensive to make, and you want, like you say, for instance, you just running a freaking taco business. You're running a taco truck. Are you going to stop black people from eating at your taco truck? It's just stupid. It doesn't make sense to stop people from trying to eat what you trying to sell. It just doesn't make sense. I get it though. I 100% get the problem. The problem is messaging. The problem is that it leaked, and the problem is that they have just gotten to a position now where they could even see the potential of their fruit of the labor. You know, like the fruits of their labor is basically right here, and now you want to do this when y'all been trash for the last 7-8 years. Y'all ain't gave us no good games. Why y'all ain't shoot this shift before? And it feels like a robbery right at the end, you know? That is the loyalist problem. If this happened when we was getting when we first got Crackdown 3 or something like that, nobody would have an issue with this. They like, well, they gave up because they really wasn't in the space to even fight. But now that they have the position to fight, it feel like they just given up too soon. So I get the loyalist issue, and I do. I really do. I really find it to be a interesting topic because there's so many ways you can think about this. Whether you're talking about just simply Game Pass and having the ability to continue to let people build games at a price that they probably couldn't have because you're letting them, you know, and getting them the reach that they could never get. If they provide that opportunity for PlayStation to have Game Pass games come on there too, there's no telling what, you know, the value of that can be. So there's some real business moves happening that we just have to kind of put our hands around and really understand. I think the most people get it, but I think the ones that don't really just feel, you know, they feel betrayed in a way. And I totally get that too, because I can look at it from that standpoint of like, why now? Why wait till this long? Why wait till you get some credited games? Why wait till you now have the lineup worthy of people's attention to now bow out and say, hey, you can play that on that console too. You don't really have to buy into our ecosystem. Why now? You know? So, when you mentioned crossplay, I didn't even think about it from that aspect. Like, imagine them, you know, changing their stance on, I mean, they can't now. It'd be too crazy. But imagine them not doing that. Imagine them not doing backwards compatibility. I think all this stuff happens for a reason. I think we have to understand that competition breeds better products for us. And I think there is going to be, and it's a fact, there's going to be a loss of competition when it comes to that. Simply because now I can play that game on this console, so why buy the one where I only can play one thing? Because Sony ain't never giving you their games, so why buy that console when I can buy the console that I can get everything on, you know? And that's going to breed the lack of competition that I'm talking about. I don't know, when y'all think about from the viewpoint of the loyalist, what's y'all thoughts on that viewpoint?
At this point,
I
oh yeah,
don't-
you can go tell.
Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, I think so. The way I want to phrase it is that I don't think that it's a big deal, but I think that the loudest voices about this are coming from two places. One, they're either too into the Xbox brand; they care about it too much. Where this really doesn't matter. It shouldn't matter this much to you personally. Like it's doom and gloom for Xbox. It's all over.
Yes.
You betrayed me and stuff like that. They didn't betray you. I mean, Xbox doesn't owe anything to you. Like you buy their products, you enjoy their products. Like this is not a like you know. And if you're an investor, this is probably better for you because you're making more money. So it's like how did they actually betray you? Like the contour
Yeah.
stuff, this loyalty to the system.
I'm
That's
definitely
too
buying
much.
Microsoft stock.
Y'all need to chill out. And the other side, I think, is going to be allow vocal people online is just for the engagement, just for discourse. Xbox is done. PlayStation has always been best, and blah blah blah. And it's gonna feed a lot of toxicity and engagement and people fighting and stuff like that. And that's where I think most of this um, discourse comes from. Because at the end of the day, as a consumer, games being available on more stuff is just better for you. Like if I got a PlayStation 5 and an Xbox and my Xbox breaks, I don't have to buy another Xbox. I just play it on the other system. So it's like it for the consumer it's just overall better right now. Long term we don't know with, not having competition. But yeah, it's better for the consumer. And personally I'm kind of at the point where I don't like exclusivity. Like I play on PC. It's my preferred system. If I can buy everything on PC, I will, unless I have a reason to buy it on something else. It runs better, or I just want to play that experience on a different system. Then I'll do that. But Sony is never gonna put out their first party games day and date on PC. So I always gotta wait a year or two, whatever, to play these games, and they'll still get my money just late. So if they wanted to just stop doing that practice and take my money day one, that's better for both of us. So yeah, that's my perspective. I think a lot of people need to just let go of this console war stuff, and this might be finally that point. But what you gotta say, Jayla?
I kind of got some of the. I kind of feel the same way. Coming from a loyalist standpoint, obviously, like we had talked about before, like all the business practices and the competition and, no muzzle, all that type of stuff. But just from a loyalist standpoint, I'm a very neutral party, and maturing is realizing that exclusivity is dumb for the consumer. And everybody should just be able to enjoy the games. Nobody should be telling people, that's why y'all not getting this game. All that type of stuff. You get older and you just be like, that doesn't even matter. Like, so for like the loyalists and stuff like that, it's not like for real though. I mean, I know you laughing because you probably laughing because you're like, it is kind of goofy because why do I care that Deontay not getting Final Fantasy Rebirth because he ain't got a PS5? Like, that's not going to enhance my gameplay. Like, man, I love this game more because Deontay ain't playing it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that sounds crazy to me. I'm like, man, I love this game because he ain't getting it. Then when they come out, he get mad. Like, man, this game ain't that fun no more. The Xbox got it. Like,
yeah,
that just sounds crazy.
Listen.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm enjoying my Spider-Man and y'all not on the PC. Like, all that stuff is just crazy because it's completely independent of each other. Like, that doesn't enhance your experience. But anyway,
asked y'all to get it from a perspective of a loyalist, and then y'all start cooking them.
I'm just saying though, like I just use that to further push that like the loyalist thing is just kind of it having loyalty to companies and just loyalties or anything is just a little kind of crazy to me. It don't matter.
You can like competition. And competition is always good for in the capitalist marketplace because it's gonna determine a better market for the consumer. Hopefully, yeah, better product. But but a lot of other stuff, like Jalen said, exclusivity. Like, I'm not gonna play the Final Fantasy demo tonight because I can't play it. And if they made it available to more people, that would be great. Like, you could triple your sales overnight if it's on PC and Xbox, but it's only on one system, and that doesn't help me. That doesn't help anybody. So, anybody excited about that, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
You're just being paid.
No,
I
I
guess
100% agree. And I think that is why, Microsoft is always going to have more money simply because they think from a perspective of this is dumb, that what makes sense, why does it even matter? And I think that is why they go to market in the way that they do, why they think cross save, why they push cross save, why they push cross play, because it doesn't matter where you play as long as you can play. And I think they always had that perspective simply because they were PC oriented. And I think they're going to still do the same thing when it comes to Linux. I think they're going to have some value there, and I think they're going to probably seek to be able to blend the two in a way that makes sense. I think there is a lot of creating your um putting some security around your IP and things like that, but it's also at the same point is like I am losing money for this and this isn't really adding value. Um just like Apple, there's plenty of lost money on the table for them simply because of what and how they go to market. It's fine and it has worked, but there is a cap on their abilities and they know it. And that's why they do the same things they do. That's why they try to hold off on adding RCS. That's why they try to hold off on making things work properly because they know they will lose market share because of these silly things that people hold over each other. And it's really silly. It is.
That's
And yeah.
my bad. Yeah, that's a good point with Apple and Google because they're kind of a similar situation where Apple had the lead for a long time with
Yeah.
technology, and Google was competing. And Google is not to say not a they're still a competitor, but they also have decided to make their stuff available on everything. Like, can you imagine like where you have to use Apple Maps on an Apple phone because Google Maps is not available because they don't want you know to put their stuff on that other platform. Like, at some
Yeah.
point, it just doesn't make sense that exclusivity. Your platforms are so big, and you got exclusivity to them. It doesn't make sense anymore. Like, if you're growing and you're both small and you're trying to reach first place, your exclusivity would help you get there. But after a while, it just hurts everybody in both ecosystems.
Yeah, that's why they charge us. That's why they charge people so much. It's because they have to continue to do so in order for there to be of added value. There is really truly a limited amount of added value that they can provide to the consumer at this point that does not that does not already exist elsewhere. So I really want to see what, the Apple roadmap really truly looks like.
Hmm.
They can continue to innovate upon themselves, but at the end of the day, there is a reason why they will never catch up to a PC because they just they and I and that the reason why they are um in the spot that they're in is simply because of how they choose to go to market. And I think Xbox understands that. I mean, and Microsoft really understands that is always going to be the case. So they don't treat them like a competitor because they really aren't a competitor to them. Um, and that's how it goes. And then now there may be products within that wheelhouse that they have succeeded far more than what they could ever do. But there is plenty of things that you find that you just can't have the same experience here that you could over there because it simply doesn't work with everything. So that's the key to Xbox. The key to Xbox is winning is that we have to devalue this exclusivity in order to raise the value on everything else, like Game Pass, our games, our services, our everything. Really, we have to break this in order for the other things to rise. And like I said, it makes sense to me, and that's where I'm looking at it from. That's why it's like it is a non it's a non-starter for me. It's just not something that really matters in my eyes, because I look at it from that standpoint, and I looked at it from a long time ago. I said, well, Xbox is starting to allow for you to play anywhere, so I really don't need an Xbox. That's why I sold it. I bought it back because I realized there is a value. There's the value in having a housed and very well built and runs properly system. That's it. That's the only reason I bought it back. Is there's a reason, there's a value there. And that's the only value that should matter, is that they made a product that's worth purchasing. That's it. Everything else is like mute.
The hardware is going to be a bigger factor now that make different SKUs. Like this SKU is weak, but you can only stream to it and stuff like that. And that gives consumers the product they want without overspending on something that they don't want.
And that's why they got the Xbox Series S. That's why they want to have a parity. That's why they want to have the ability for people to choose. And I appreciate that for them, because it is important for everybody to be able to have a comparable experience. So yeah, I mean, like I said, you already know where I stand. The Fanatics, unfortunately, I understand where you're coming from, but there is a lot to be said about truly valuing their software. Like you can value their software and still have reasons to buy the Xbox. There is backwards compatibility that you're not going to get anywhere else. So you still feel comfortable buying within their system. You know that they're going to have enough money to continue to make games, because not only are they selling them on their system, they're selling them on other people's systems. You know they have like the biggest publishing house now, and they're the biggest publishers out there now. So it's not like they're going to go out the game business bad. It's just more so another way for how to get more reach cheap. This is a cheap way to get more reach. All you gotta do is build another build for PlayStation and Nintendo, and that's it. Yeah. I mean, that's all it is to it. I really don't want to put too much stake into it. Yeah.
Go to online persona based on Xbox gamer, YouTube TV. Y'all cooked, because people gonna be cooking y'all online, but. Other than that, like the consumer is going to benefit for this situation. One thing I want to ask though, with like the competition, is that Xbox, if they're not the main competitor as far as like I'll say features or consumer focused practices, like do you think that Steam is going to have to be that pressure point? Because like right now, I feel like a lot more people are moving towards PC, and like if Steam is doing stuff that PlayStation is not doing, would that be like pressure enough to people to not buy the game on PlayStation and just get it on Steam?
People still use reporting data from Steam to even discuss around games. Like they don't even talk about games that come out on these platforms because they're so closed off. There's so much freedom when it comes to PC gaming that it's going to continue to grow, simply because of one, we now have a way to bring in people that want a enclosed and stable experience with the Steam Deck. That's going to keep getting reiterated on, and there's plenty of other ones out there that are trying to copy and create their own experience. Windows is going to continue to build up on themselves and try to create something for more sort of handheld gaming, if not handheld gaming, just playing in PC gaming in general, where maybe that build is built within the kernel of Windows. I don't know, but I know that they have been working on something, and they're probably going to continue to work on their gaming side to make it better experience for everyone. because as you know, the Windows Store and the way you get your Xbox Game Pass games is not the same as you would with with the Steam. So they're doing stuff. Do I think it's the right way to go about it? No, but it's their way of trying something. So I want to continue to allow them the ability to do that. But from that, for Steam wise, it has already helped with me.
Mm-hmm.
I still hate to play on PC in general, but I've bought so many games on the PC as of now, like for this entire generation, that I would normally not do, simply because of the convenience of being able to play it in a spot and then play it on the go. Like I can't stress that enough. It's just it's so important. I didn't think it was important because the Nintendo Switch came out and I felt like this was a drag and this is a terrible experience. But when you really have a good experience, um, it really changes. It's a defining and changing thing, and well, it's an evolutionary thing. It's like you really evolving the medium, in my opinion, where you kind of have that ability to do it in multiple ways. And I think Xbox always thought like that, but they just didn't execute on it like a handheld gaming device that was so seamless as much as the Steam Deck was. So, um, you know, I think we're gonna have a lot more handhelds come out of this, and we're going to see a lot of more things like that. Even if it comes to just using your phone.
Yep.
But there's plenty of that stuff out there, and I think Steam being there as a player just helps keep the competition right, because Steam just likes to, you know, they have started so late but caught up so much. It's crazy, you know. It's really
Yeah,
mind
so
blowing how much they achieved in like 2 years.
so hopefully whatever, yeah, like you said, Steam is going to continue like pushing a lot of like innovation and things like that. So I'm just
Hmm.
hoping that if Xbox is not looked at as a competitor for Sony, that at least they're paying attention to Steam, because that is right now the place that you definitely get more consumer focused like decisions made, and overall just better like experience. Even though like
Yeah.
PC gaming, like it's like you said, it's pretty self sufficient. You're on your own. You got to go look at third party stuff. Steam is still like giving real support to to their players, and like having a focused device like the Steam Deck. Like how many improvements came out in the first year? It was like the the Steam Deck
Thousands.
first month to the end of the year, like completely different system basically.
Yeah. It's like so much, man. And yeah, I think the biggest issue with the Steam Deck is always going to continue to be um having, you know, for those day one releases, high end AAA games. But anything in the
Yeah,
backlog that you want to play and try and want to play some, like those like really not too big for Steam Deck in a sense, games are really going to be beneficial to kind of have that experience. So yeah, they they will figure it out at some point how to make stuff work really well. And I've seen a lot of weird stuff where, you know, you got your external GPUs and all that junk.
oh yeah. So
I'm not there yet. I'm not that crazy. So but yeah, I know that they're going to get there for sure. There's too much FSR 3 and all these upscaling things that make everything from cheap 720p look like 1080p, look like 1440p, look like 1440p plus 2160p. It just keep going. As these technologies and stuff keep improving, I think it's going to be pretty simple to see the value in these portable consoles. Um, any last thoughts on Xbox giving away games? Y'all think Starfield gonna sell well on PlayStation after all that junk they was talking?
I think, I mean, it might not sell as much as like it sold at first. But I think Starfield is still a big name because it was disappointing, but people enjoyed it. So if they drop an update, they drop DLC, it could be like
Which
a
they are.
cyberpunk
Yeah.
situation, which the game continues to get better and people are talking about it again. So that'll be good. I don't know if they're bringing old games, but I think Halo Infinite, that could be another breath of life for the game. People enjoy it; it's getting better. But
Yeah.
having like a lot more players playing, that could be great for that game. But it's also rumored that they're making a new Halo game, so I don't know.
Yeah. They you think that's gonna get rid of the Xbox hate online? They're gonna be like when the reviewers review it, they're gonna be, oh, it's on Sony too. They gonna is it gonna X? No, I'm just playing. It's a thing where if it's on Xbox, you get the Xbox tax. That's what it's called.
Yeah.
The Xbox tax
Thing I
might
want
get
to
rid.
ask, they haven't announced their plans, and like it might be completely different than what we thought. But like, do you think they're gonna be like where every game is coming out day one on everything, or it's we're gonna be releasing games just uh at a later pace, like 6 months later or something like that?
That will make their friends feel better. I wouldn't do it. I would do it day one. But that'll make the fans feel better. So me, oh, that mug going out. But them, it might put enough pressure on them to make them say, okay, we're not gonna do it day one, but we gonna still provide them, those players, an opportunity to play it later. I think the benefit
Mhm.
of adding that is not for later pocket money. It's for the right now money. People are interested in the game and they want to play it. So if they're doing that, it's just not going to be as impactful as it would be to day one releases on game, coming into Game Pass and then coming onto that console as well, where people that wanted to play and try it, because it gets rid of that feeling of um, buyer's remorse. It gives rid of that feeling uh wait to buy feeling. It gets rid of a lot of the stuff that would make the commentary online negative. It's really just, okay, everybody gets it. Now let's just talk about, is the game good or not,
Mhm.
versus, oh yeah, y'all getting it a little bit earlier, but we get it later, and we still gonna hate y'all on it for it because we're not getting it right now, stuff like that. And
Mhm.
I know that a lot of the games coming out right now for Xbox are games that, and that's probably why they never said anything about Blade, because that's definitely coming on both.
Yeah. It was
So
real. That's
yeah,
probably.
they was real hush hush on Blade. So I feel like the big drop is that they're going to be coming day in and day out with the PlayStation releases, because that makes the most sense. It get rid of so much of the negativity, because people could just say, is this a good game or not? It goes back to them being in a space where Bethesda was Bethesda and not Bethesda Xbox Bethesda. So because I never liked Bethesda, and
Mhm.
I still didn't like them because they got bought by Xbox. So now the people that hated on Bethesda because they were just part of Xbox could go back to being what they were normally were, just excited for games. It's crazy. You gotta like trick people into getting what they actually want. It's so ridiculous sometimes, but yeah. Um, but that's my thought.
Yeah. I think, especially nowadays with how they want to do Game Pass, same day for everything is going to be what they are going to do going forward. But like you said, some games they might try to appease the fanboys, like Indiana Jones. Oh, it's 1 month early or something like that. But
Hmm.
uh, yeah, but it's a new future for Xbox. That's what Phil been building for a decade.
Yeah, crazy. But okay, let's move on to our next topic. After we spent an hour on Xbox, let's move into Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, PS5 exclusive. Coming out February 29th. Today, the demo shall be released, I'm pretty sure. Let me refresh this. 12 minutes ago, the Rebirth demo launched on the PS5. You can download it and start playing as Cloud and Sephiroth today. I might have to stop this and boot it up right now. No, I'm just playing. It doesn't say that it's going to carry over though.
I don't think it's gonna carry over. I didn't watch the state of play, but what they were saying is that it takes place in like a certain event in the story where you're with Sephiroth. So I feel like this is just like a cut out piece of the game that you can just try out. You might get some rewards for like completing it, but let me look it up right now.
No, it's more so just I'm reading it right now. It's just talking about giving you a taste of what comes in the full game. You get to play with some synergy abilities and unique combo attacks. But outside of that, you're playing with Sephiroth and Cloud. So
Cloud and Nibelheim. Okay.
It says the Nebulum. Oh, it says
Nibelheim.
During the game's well-known Nibelheim flashback chapter.
Yeah.
Nibelheim.
Look at him. Thanks.
Yeah,
thanks, Jay.
that's where you went in Crisis Core. Like, yeah.
Oh, had no idea. I played that game entirely.
That old village.
That old village. Okay. That makes sense. No, I think this is going to be some real fun. I really do think Final Fantasy VII Rebirth going to be the game of the year for sure. But I don't really need to play the demo to know that. So
I'm glad we got you to play it. First one. I'm glad me and Josh finally convinced you to play the first one.
Oh yeah, because I was like, no, thank you. I was definitely like, no, thank you, G. So yeah, I appreciate y'all working on me as usual. Square Enix boys, 1, Deontay, 0.
Live in here.
No, actually, Square Enix boys 1, Deontay 3. I still stand on Kingdom Hearts being trash. But that's for another
Kingdom Hearts
day.
2 is trash, yeah.
I was like, bruh, I can't believe I played all these games. I played like 3 to completion. Still hated it, but it's okay.
Hey, you're supposed to play 2, man. That was the coolest one.
Yeah. That's what they all
he ain't played the second one, y'all. He I forgot which ones did you even play? Didn't you play Birth by Sleep first?
I played the card one. I played the Kingdom Hearts 1, and then I played 3.
Yeah, man. He missed 2. That was the coldest. But I was the one that put him on the map for real, man.
Uh-huh. The card one had a cool mechanic. That's why I finished it. So I like the card mechanic.
If you got enough patience and stuff, it's a decent enough mechanic, and it's
So, but yeah, okay. Well, anything y'all want to add to Final Fantasy VII Remake? I know it's gonna be good, so I really don't got nothing to say. Now that y'all know y'all gonna be playing as Cloud and Sephiroth, well, Jalen, do you think you gonna download it to test it out?
I'm already downloading it right now.
Oh, you already?
I'm already downloading. I probably won't play it all though, because I need to play Persona.
Yeah.
Yeah. Usually demos I'm not that into, like betas.
Yeah.
Like when you play online games, you can experience them with other people. But as far as like demos, it's not that huge big of a deal because they're usually short and don't give like a full like transfer over to the full game and stuff like that. So if this game I'm already excited for, then yeah, like you said, I don't need to play the demo. But it also can make you happy if you're too excited. You can just play a little bit and feel confident about your purchase.
I might play it then. It said Final Fantasy VII Rebirth Demo save data will offer a Kupo charm and a venturing item set in the full game. Players who complete the episode, we'll be able to skip the same section in the full game. So
okay.
I might do that then.
Okay.
But okay. Well, outside of that, I wanted to talk about Apex Legends, which is going to be another long one for me, because y'all going to play this with me this time. Shut up. I don't want to hear it. Y'all playing this. So the legend upgrades, a lot of stuff has changed, like a lot. They want it to really be more about the gunplay and less about a lot of other crap that used to be in the game that was boring. You cannot pick up armor. That's a big one. You cannot pick up armor no more. You only can upgrade your armor through shooting people, through Evo shields. So it's going to, the idea behind that, and it's a significant change, is to make fights in the beginning more fair. They don't want people to fight someone where they found a purple, so now they just outdid you, or they got a P90, or they got a better weapon and you got a P90 or something like that. And they want to make the looting less random and more focused on fights. So the big one is the basically higher level. You cannot pick up even. You cannot, shields don't drop no more, and when you kill somebody, you just get an overcharge. You do not get their color. So basically, if they had purple because they were shooting other people, and you kill them, and you only got blue, it's not going to upgrade you to purple. It's going to give you an overshield of what you will be at if you had purples. But if you don't kill nobody, that don't recharge. You still stuck at your blues when you try to recharge yourself. It kind of works like old girls, the new girl, I don't know her name no more. The new girl's buff where she got overshields for the team. If y'all recall what she did, but we haven't played it in so long. I wouldn't expect y'all to, but basically it works like a armor, a little extra armor or overshield, and not like it used to when you're swapping. So earning Evo, you get your team gains, so personal gains, and then there's team gains. Personal gains, you get it from damage, knocks, and knock assist. Knocks against a legend of higher level will net an underdog XP bonus, so they will be taken into account levels compared to you and someone else. Finishers and Evo caches, so that's care packages and vaults, not like in random bins or something. You can't find Evo caches there. These are what's going to allow you to continue to level up your Evo shields, but not only does it level up your Evo shields, it's another layer to it, and that is legend upgrades. So legend upgrades, let me read this for y'all. Introducing the Legend Upgrade System, an in-match progression system that deepens the Apex Legends Battle Royale experience by allowing you to tailor your legend to your playstyle. This new feature will restart with each match, giving you the opportunity to try different upgrades for size. Earning Evo will now level up your legend over the course of the game, improving your armor tier and unlocking unique upgrade selections at level 2 and level 3. Choose wisely as your decisions can impact your whole squad's strategy. Legend upgrades and Evo changes will be limited to the Battle Royale modes with Breakout. Stay tuned for our Breakout patch, blah, blah, blah. Okay, that's nothing. Let's see. Wait, does those legend upgrades only work in Breakout? Oh, well, Breakout is the mode. I don't know what they talk about. Okay, so it's Breakout is the update. So what they mean modes with Breakout?
It might be a separate mode that you can play classic or something like that. I don't know.
See, now they're making me mad because they keep doing extra stuff. Elimination, scoring, bonuses, This is all other stuff. They got the new mixtape map called the Thunderdome, where they got like a big skull and it's like a big arena, which looks cool. It's kind of similar to what's that game called that the new Let's Have Some Fun. What's the game? Finals. It's not the fun. It's not the new Let's Have Some Fun, but it's one of those games. So the finals, and there's some other stuff like they're finally given the 120 FPS mode that they promised 3 years ago. What else? But the biggest changes was gots to be they're going to have a mode where you're going to be able to. It's kind of similar to Resurgence, and then they have the armor now being upgradable and not having any armors on the floor. You being able to earn Evo for that, and then simply the legend upgrades, because now you're going to have different types of avenues to take. And so when you're actually competing with others, it kind of just breaks up the monotony. Because honestly, when I got into a fight with someone, it kind of went the same way. It didn't change, or it was always the same. It wasn't like they outplayed me necessarily. It's either they had a better weapon or they just had a better, position. So I think with these changes, it helps when it comes to getting into fights faster, because people actually have to fight you, or at least try to shoot at you so you know where people are. It just takes a lot of the wasted time out. Even with the crafting system, you don't have to go pick up crafting materials now. You kind of can dedicate the crafter has been dedicated to just shield batteries and med packs, and if you want, or shield battery, med packs, and ammo. And if you have a healer or a medic on your team, they can respawn your characters with a respawn feature. But that's it. I mean, that is all there is to it. There is no guaranteed smoke or the thermo sights where you can see through the smoke. There is no meta that you have to deal with, because people now can just craft this stuff. There's a lot of stuff that they're trying to minimize to make it a little bit more friendly to the person that's just coming back into the game. And I want to try it out. Now, there's a lot more to this than what I just stated, but this is the stuff that really was, I guess, potent to me, that I felt like everybody's getting reworked, everybody's getting something different, but it's not like a bunch of substantial changes. There's a lot of things that they're trying to do to make stuff more readable, and understand what's happening on the field. So there's a lot of nuance here, but the big deal for me is the Evo shield change and having to go out and fight to upgrade yourself. There is some opportunities to do it, but even those spots will become hot spots simply because of what you can do there. So I feel like it just makes the game more active. There's so many lulls in the game where you're just not doing anything. I really hope a lot of these changes make the game more engaging and quick versus what it is now. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what I was like, yeah, this is actually pretty cool. They also created a way for you don't, like, in the Resurgence mode. I hope they bring this to the main Battle Royale, but you can spectate and ready up for the next game. It's so simple, but you don't have to go back to the main menu like we always do and have to get disconnected, and then we can't get back to the game because something happened or somebody got disconnected or whatever. If to have the ability to continue on to the next match without having to go back to a menu and come back in, is going to really be helpful too, just to keep the game more seamless. And I feel like, it's something that Fortnite does, and I think that there's plenty of stuff that they can steal from Fortnite. So as long as they continue to do that, But this right here is a significant enough change for me to give it a try again. Obviously, I ain't buying nothing, but to just give it a shot, see where it's at, see how it feels. I'm okay with doing that, and I'm dragging y'all along with me. So, yeah, be ready to play Apex Legends next week. I don't know when we're gonna play it because we really don't be playing a game like that no more. But I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna be on y'all, so be prepared for that type of diligence and determination from your boy.
I ain't got no problem with Apex, but I ain't been playing battle royale games that much, so I don't know if the changes gonna matter because it's still battle royale. But yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
I like
I think
Apex.
I'm more interested in the
tired of it.
resurgence mode. I forget what it's
Yeah.
called though. The mode where you keep coming back to life and you're trying to like do certain things. I forget what it's called. I don't think it's Three Strikes. It was something else. They created another mode where it's kind of like Three Strikes, but it's not. And but that's where the upgrades and all that stuff come into play. And then you drop and you pick up weapons that's fully kitted, so you don't have to loot for nothing. You just fight. So that's the mode I'm interested in playing the most outside of Battle Royale. But yeah, it was a lot. I'm not finna ask y'all thoughts because I know how y'all is. So we gonna keep it positive and we gonna move straight into the next thing. So the last thing I want to talk about is the Apple Vision Pro and the value in it. What do y'all think about the Apple Vision Pro? Hopefully y'all seen it. Or y'all seen some memes. Y'all seen some people utilizing this thing. I start with y'all because I don't know. I guess I'm a little more positive, but I don't know what y'all at with it. So, what you think about the Apple Vision Pro?
I ain't seen much. I seen like one ad for it. I mean, it seemed like it's straight, but I mean, I think the price point was pretty high. So, I ain't got a whole lot to say about it. But again, I don't keep up with Apple products and stuff like that. So,
What about you, Josh?
Yeah, I've seen it. It's a interesting like augmented reality, mixed reality device that's overpriced. But it's causing two things. Like I think the features of it, like the device is pretty good. People say the high resolution and the overall experience is pretty good. And plus it's a not premium device, but it's not cheap. It's built well, so everything works. That being said, it's still pretty. I hear it's pretty buggy. It's super expensive, and it has the Apple tax, in which people are gonna treat it like this is they're the first to do it and the best to ever do it, and that's not true. A lot of this stuff you can do on different devices. And maybe even better in some situations, but now everything is wrapped in the Apple package, so now it's going to be it's the best ever. I personally like, I think it's a cool thing, but I think it's not a device or technology that's needed. It's just a super luxury plate thing. Like if you have $3,500 to waste, you want to put it on your credit card or you want to put it on your business credit card and just have it and do stuff with. I think it's cool. Like, be able to sit at your imaginary desk with 20 different screens and doing stuff at the same time. That's cool. But yeah, that's all it is for me. That being said, I do see the I am excited for these type of devices to keep coming out at much cheaper, to be able to have it in a smaller form factor, a cheaper price. But knowing Apple, it's going to take a long time because now any innovation that Apple makes, they're going to keep that patented and locked down and let nobody else use it.
Yeah, I mean, I agree that's their that's what they do. But luckily, a lot of this stuff is not like there. It's nothing that they did that other companies aren't capable of doing, just not at this level of like
Yeah.
clarity
Same with
or ability. Like a lot of this stuff, like motion, hand tracking, all that stuff is already within other devices. So it's nothing that they truly did that was super significant outside of higher fidelity and the Apple, that fine tuning, because that's what they truly did. I think fine tuning the product, fine tuning the um, choices and materials, fine tuning um, the screens, fine tuning the eye tracking, fine tuning the hand tracking, and to the point where it felt like it's a seamless experience through the glasses. But that ain't new. And that's something you can do with other devices. And I think those devices are truly where I want to continue to see them push the limits. Because this device is a first generation. I don't expect them to continuously make these yearly. If they do, it'd be surprising to me. I think these are going to be coming out on a 3-year cadence, 2 to 3 years maybe, for some type of evolution or something groundbreaking to occur. But I could be wrong. But I think I'm going to stick with Facebook for a while in regards to what what I want to buy, especially where they're making weird decisions to make the battery detachable, not actually plugging into the back of the headset or something like that. Like there's plenty of opportunity right now for someone to make uh, a cloth pouch on the back of that thing to give it more balance and keep it close to your head. But I don't know how hot it gets. I don't understand the point of them not doing that themselves to give you the opportunity to try to balance it out. But at the end of the day, it's Apple. They don't do things in the most, they don't do things smart. To me, they don't, but to others, they do. I don't think this is a smart move to have a long little cord just sticking out your head at all times when you could have just wrapped that around to the back and did some actually innovative things there, so that way you don't it's an actual wireless device and not some wire just sticking around on the side of you. I just think that was a stupid decision, but there's plenty of things I can pick apart here on why I don't like it, but there's plenty I do like about it too, so I don't want to hate on it. I just know that now that they have it, there's more people have their eyes on VR and mixed reality, and that's not something no one deserves to be trying to gatekeep. So I'm glad people are seeing it and experiencing it and really finding out the benefits of it. So when it does come to the next iterations of everyone else, that those ones start to see the benefit of adoption and see what people are utilizing and what they like in this Apple one and putting them in their devices and making it a much stronger experience. So I'm all here for people actually adopting this expensive thing, but just don't, Actually, I don't care. You can say Apple invented it. I don't even care about that. You do what y'all do. I just know it's not true.
Mhm.
But do what y'all do. Make sure you're putting your videos out. Make sure the exposure is getting there, because all at the end of the day, it's just pushing the medium forward, and a lot of people will start to see the benefits of truly having an AR experience. Because augmented reality is way more exciting to me than virtual, um, but they
Uh,
both are worthy.
I can say something negative, and I can tell people what they shouldn't do, which is don't wear these things outside, and don't wear these things when you're driving. Uh, uh, every video I've seen is somebody on some tomfoolery with a $3,500 device on your face on the train in New York, uh, driving,
Yeah.
like Tesla self drive while you're wearing this. Like that stuff is like crazy, and if they doing that, they need to lock y'all up real quick. uh So yeah, I'm not excited for that aspect of it, like people being idiots with these devices. But the technology itself is interesting.
Yeah. I mean, they make them an easy mark, but I mean, people carry around those $3,500 MacBooks all day. So I just know
Yeah, but
that
if you got your
people are
laptop in
accustomed.
your bag, that's
Yeah.
fine. But you had a thing on your face where you literally probably, I mean, I know it's pass through, you can see, but like, you know, mobile to be able to.
You ain't gonna be able to do nothing when they snatch that mug off your face.
Right. People
Yeah.
snatch glasses, people face all the time.
I saw a picture of like there was the pros and cons of some Cartier white buffs. It's with the Apple Vision Pro, and it was like looked cool. It was like it was a bunch of funny stuff. But I was watching that. I was like, man, both of them boys get snatched. uh, that joke was funny. But yeah. Um. Okay, well, I mean that's pretty much all I have for Apple Vision Pro. I ain't really have much else. I think that it's again, it's great to see that people are adopting it, and it's cool to see that people have like mixed thoughts about it and not just negative thoughts. So, I'm glad that it had a successful. I don't know if it had a successful launch to be honest. Today, tell me how many they sold, but it seemed like people are taking to it. So. As long as they keep
Yeah,
doing that, they
adopted.
see the benefits. I think we have a good time there.
Excited about it. Yeah.
Yeah,
So you picking one up as a tax write off?
I would love to, but I think it's just too much. It's too much right now. I feel like I would I would be finding a reason to buy it versus actually utilizing it because I don't mess with the ecosystem, and it would be really me just trying it out. Like it would not really be the beneficial thing that I would want it to be to spend that much money on anyway. Even if it is like I can write it off. I don't want to do that. It's too much. It's like no, even if it was a complete wipe, I just feel like that's just too much money for that device. When I know I have something, MetaQuest 3 right now, that does a very similar experience for half the fraction of the price, and it's all in one. I don't have, and it comes with controllers. So I just feel like I no, just a no. It's just a flat no, bro. Um, and I got that Asgard's Wrath too for free. It's just a better experience right now. It's just built different, and it's fine. People will find value in what they find value in, but this is not it to me. So it's not it. So no, thank you. Pass through will get much better over time, and the next iteration, even if it's 1,000, will be half the price of this, and it'll probably do way more. And I still have my library of games, so nah, I'm good. I'm good. But that's all I got on Apple Vision Pro, guys. I want to thank you guys for listening. As always, I appreciate you especially if you got to this point. I really appreciate you. I know these things can go a little long sometimes, but thank you as always. But yeah, anything y'all want to say to the people before we get up out of here? Any of those any Persona quotes? No, just
I know, but Jalen was enjoying the battle music. I think that song is new.
oh,
I haven't listened to it a whole lot, but yeah, I like the Persona always got good battle themes, so I'll be
gotcha.
listening to that for sure.
That song go crazy, man. I'm like, all right.
Yeah, I'm about to download this.
I don't remember how many songs were in Persona 5. Like I like the music in Persona 5, but like y'all know I didn't like the Mementos music. I think Persona 3 has a lot of music that changes over time. Like the battle music probably not gonna change, but like as you play through the game, like every couple months, the music will change in all the areas. As you go deeper into Tartarus, the music changes as well. So hopefully y'all will like the other music in the game too.
Gotcha. All right. Well, I appreciate you guys as always. Again, thank you for listening. And we will be back next week with more topics, more things to discuss. Hopefully, Skull and Bones came out or beta. Let's see if I can get these guys.
We'll have some questions for you.
Let's see if I can get these guys to try the beta. We'll see. We'll see though. But all right, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Talk to you next time. Peace.